You are now tuned in to the News You Can Use podcast. I'm your host with the most big surf guy, and today we got Adam22 interviewing his father, which is super dope. We got wack100 interviewing Adam's dad about his relationship with Bill Clinton. Let's get into it.
Submit paperwork asking for presidential clemency.
Pops, you had to hook up. See, you capping. You had to hook up. Bill was your homeboy.
He had more skin in the game than the average person because of the fact that he had worked on Bill Clinton's initial presidential campaign as an unpaid volunteer, which a lot of people online like to conflate that with you somehow being part of a secretive inner circle, one of Bill Clinton's best friends.
That's what they say.
And also his brother, Joe Graham Mason, rest in peace, he worked in international diplomacy for Bill Clinton for a number of years.
I'm going to tell you what they say. I think you got thick skin. This is what they say.
So let me just finish because you asked a good question.
That's good.
In New Hampshire, it's such a small universe of people who become involved in, we'll say, a presidential campaign because the state has had historically the first primary. Okay. And candidate Clinton weathered the storm in New Hampshire. The target of many allegations.
I'm a Clinton fan, so you know.
That if you were behind him and he won, or anybody really, a candidate who's successful gets to the White House is apt to recognize your name. So in my case, and again, the president had nothing to do with we'll say, the prosecution or the sentencing or anything like that. I went away for about 9.5 months and then came home and about 5 years later submitted paperwork and through my lawyer to the Department of Justice, Office of Pardon Attorney. And some months later, we received word that, again, the felony wasn't. It's not as though it didn't happen. They send you a very well-worded letter saying, "Don't think it didn't happen, but just know that the presidential pardon has been given you."
Great. So how old were you when you?
How old was I? I was in my mid-40s.
Oh, you were in your mid-40s?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was difficult.
Exactly 30 years ago.
Yeah, that was difficult.
Yeah.
That was very difficult. And before then, you had never been incarcerated.
Never been arrested, right?
No. It was nothing I had planned for.
So you never been arrested. So you pretty much got away with everything previously.
I am otherwise a perfectly straight, boring, middle-class white guy.
This is my experience with him for sure. Throughout my life, when I was thinking about deviant acts or anything bad that I've ever seen you involved with in my life, the only thing that I can come up with is that I saw you get kicked out of a high school basketball game for yelling at the ref.
Yeah, but that's typical Caucasian stuff.
I mean, but I'm just saying that's like, and that really stands alone. I was like, I can't think of anything else. Never seen him punch somebody. Never really seen him do the road rage thing, scream. It's just like.
Then you guys yell different at refs. Us black people, we yell a little different. We get a little violent. We say a few F-bombs and we'll do this to you. You guys be like, "Hey, moron."
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you.
Like that. Hey, idiot.
But we do it walking towards them. Yeah. You guys kind of stay in the same.
What he did for sure would not have got him kicked out of a game in Pacoima. In Nashua, I think the standard for decorum probably. I think I was in the stands. I think I was very young.
Oh, okay.
Elementary school. Yeah.
So he tells me that you and his mother have been together a very long time.
Yeah, over 50 years. Yeah,
that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
Met at the University of New Hampshire.
So did she come? Did she come and visit you while you were incarcerated? Or you didn't want to come?
Yes. She and Adam and our daughter made several visits. It was about 500 miles from where we lived.
How old was Adam?
Oh,
fifth grade, sixth grade. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Probably 10, 11.
So
Yeah.
so Pops, listen.
Yeah.
Be straight with me. Did he cry like a little girl when you went to jail? When they took you, did he cry?
I assume many times. Yeah.
You cried?
Probably when he left. Probably every time we left the visiting times and stuff like that. I mean, it was very hard on our whole family.
You know, he runs the gangs of Los Angeles. He's a thug.
Here's some new narratives.
You know, your son he's old.
He's conflating me interviewing rappers with being some sort of gang
He's
leader.
an OG.
Nah. I'm a young guy.
Look, the 22,
Yeah.
that's Deuce. Ice-T talked about it. Deuce revolver was my problem solver. Like, yeah, but this is the 22 Street. I'm under him.
He knows that I've had the Adam22 name since I was approximately 15.
Let me tell you what I love right now. I've never seen him this in check in my life. He really respects you. You are total. You like a little junior high school.
My old man right here. Man. Listen, there's very few people I feel any desire to keep any sense of like normalcy around. But around him, I just want to make sure that he's not being bamboozled or misled by you during this conversation.
Now, listen, let me tell you something. Your pops is very witty. I can read. He understands what's going on. He knows whether I'm BSing or I'm serious. I know when I'm in front of somebody that's like don't know versus somebody like, come on, little whippersnapper, shoot your best shot. Pops can handle it. So what did you do outside of politics?
Yeah.
What did you do like growing up? What was your...
Well, I started out as a high school teacher. My first several years out of college. Later on, and for about the final 30 years of my work life, I was involved in real estate and construction for myself and for others.
Gotcha.
And it was in 2017 that my wife and I both retired.
Oh, you just retired 8 years ago.
And Adam had said to his sister and brother-in-law, he said, I really miss you guys. I see you a couple times a year, but would you consider relocating to California? And in pretty short order, they decided to do that. Our daughter and son-in-law asked if we did this, would you, Mom and Dad, would you?
They wasn't going to leave you.
Would
guys
you come along?
Yeah.
Believe me, we had never considered it. We had never thought about it.
Because he's a Nashua guy.
Right.
Not many people love Nashua, New Hampshire the way this guy does. He spent 70 years nearly.
And he knew everybody.
Everyone, knows every street, knows every development. He could tell you point to a random plot of land with a Dunkin' Donuts on it. He could tell you what has been going on with that plot of land every decade for the last, 6 years.
So do you go back periodically, or you just been in good old Southern California?
It wasn't until we got here that we developed any kind of real understanding or appreciation for Adam's world, his online world, his success, his internet personality, we'll say, and the success he's had through more than anything else, through hard work. He is a self-made man. He is not someone who, approaching midlife, who lives off of anything that anyone gave him.
He created it.
That's right. That's exactly right. He created it. And we got the first clue of that maybe 20 years ago. There was a BMX rider who got hurt. And Adam, it was a terrible injury, I think a brain injury. Adam decided he wasn't a local kid, but Adam decided he wanted to help him out.
Brett Banasewicz.
Financially. So Adam
Mad Dog.
Hosted. He announced and he hosted some kind of BMX meetup on the New Hampshire coast, and there was a big crowd there. And I remember we asked the guy who ran the
contest.
I'm not sure what it would be called, but the BMX warehouse, we'll say.
Got you.
The Rye Airfield.
If somebody wanted to know, if somebody anywhere in the world wanted to know anything about BMX bikes, how would they find out? And the guy, middle-aged guy, says they'd contact Adam Grand Maison right there.
Oh, hold on. So it was Grand Maison, not Grand Mason. Oh,
well,
we discussed this a lot.
No, it's Grand Maison.
This gets discussed a lot.
We do tend to pronounce our last name differently.
No.
And I've got cousins.
How have you been saying it all your life?
Grand Maison.
That's what it is. He don't.
But there's also Gramazon.
No.
I say
No.
Grand Mason.
Grand Maison.
Yeah.
Grand Mason.
Adam Grand Maison.
When I was just in Toronto, a lot of people saying, Mr. Grand Maison.
I'll bet. Yeah.
Which to me, that's the real way to say it. So Gramazon, very foreign. Grand Mason. It's easier for people to spell it when I say
Grand Mason sound more like mobster, mobbish.
No, we don't do that.
Yeah.
No crime.
Grand Maison?
Grand Maison?
Yeah, I'm with that.
If I said it like that, I would say.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah, we've been recording for like 20 minutes.
We've been recording the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
it's a very casual show.
I want to say one other thing about how we had to see Adam's success firsthand, or almost firsthand. We've still got family back in New Hampshire. I've got cousins. The senior cousin is Ansel. He pronounces it Grand Mason.
Shout out Ansel.
He's got a couple of brothers, Dawn and Gary. Ansel's got several daughters. The oldest one is Donna. And they are all very, very much aware, and they follow Adam's career very closely. And they also, because Adam over the years will make available a no jumper hat or T-shirt,
there you go,
shorts or something like that, and they'll wear that kind of merch around town.
It's definitely, that's personal to them because that's his family.
But one of his favorite pastimes out here on the West Coast is any young person, any person of color, any person wearing a T-shirt that he identifies as potentially identifying them with a subculture. You ever heard of No Jumper?
That's
and
the fact.
He loves it because he has a very high recognition level, I would say.
And what happens is he realizes everybody's heard of No Jumper.
Decent percentage.
Right. And another thing he recognizes is my boy is the one that
Wack, I was playing golf in Encino about a year ago, and I got paired up with a father and his two sons. And the father was a lawyer from Calabasas family. And one of the sons was an engineer. I think they had both gone to USC. And the other son was wearing a Harvard Law School jersey. And so the father and I, and he was maybe in his 50s, we're talking about his sons for the most part, following very traditional career paths, we'll call it, a lot of education. So about halfway through the round of golf, I asked the two kids, I said, I don't know, have you guys ever heard of my son? And, well, who's he? Well, I said, his business name is No Jumper. Personally, he goes by Adam22. The one with the Harvard jersey goes, that guy is one of the biggest influencers in the world.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. But you know what it is? What's cool about Adam is he doesn't carry himself in a snobbish way like that. Like Adam, last night you seen him, he's at the concert. You know what I mean? He's cool. Like he mingles with the people. He does a few things and I'll be like, I don't know if I don't think you should do that. But I see where he gets it from, because if you openly and genuinely just speak to people, like Adam goes and visits like the inner city ghettos. Like he shows up, supports their video shoots, you know what I mean? Places to where he wouldn't normally be, or you would think he couldn't go. And I've seen him do a coast to coast, New York, South Central, the places that you wouldn't think that he would want to go. But when I look at it and when he does it, I'm like, you have to be genuine to do that because of the risk factor. You get what I'm saying? Because he does it, being who he is, he doesn't have to take that risk, but he does it anyway, not for himself, but he knows it's going to do something for the individuals that he's trying to support. So, you know.
Well, Phil here always taught me as a youngin' doing the honking waves, as you remember, that if you want to be something, you got to get out there and interact with the people. He used to have me standing on the corner at busy intersections nearly every weekend, holding up a sign for, you know, whoever it was that week, Al Gore, Bill Clinton, whoever it was. And we'd be out there convincing people. And actually, do you want to tell him? Well, I guess I'll just tell him. There used to be a clothing line that was very controversial in New Hampshire back in the day. And I never owned an item from it, but I was very intrigued by it. And it actually kind of became like a big controversial issue in the New Hampshire community. The clothing line was called
Drive-by clothing.
Drive-by clothing.
Some kids in New Hampshire would take white tees. I'm talking, this is probably like 1994. You could probably look it up on the local New Hampshire news. They would take a white tee hanging on the wall and shoot it with a gun and then sell that shirt.
With the hole in it.
With the hole in it to make it look like you.
And did it say drive-by clothing?
I don't think so, honestly. I can't really remember. I don't think they even screen printed that.
So it was the cost of the bullet.
This is years before Drake would come out on stage with the fake bullet holes steaming out.
Oh my God, bro. Drive-by clothing. You know I gotta clip this shit.
Steaming out of here. I recall that.
And people brought it.
I mean, I feel like maybe the local politicians were using it to gain some kind of momentum by talking down about it. I don't know how popular it actually was.
How old was Adam when he had his first fist fight?
Oh, Lord.
You mean the first time he got his ass?
There we go. Yeah. See, that's why me and you, we right here.
We
got content. Yeah, let us just talk about this. Hold on, Adam. Put it on you. Let's talk about this, Pops.
To my knowledge, it was in the 8th grade when a girl by the name of Catalina beat his ass.
Yeah. Oh, a girl beat his ass.
Yeah.
Wow, nobody knows that.
Didn't whoop him, but beat his ass. Yeah. So did he have any black eyes, busted lips? Yeah. What did he do? Did he like...
She was quick.
So
she did. She whooped my
was she like a tomboy?
Small but quick.
Oh, one of those. Damn, you got your ass.
Still friends with her, actually, honestly, yeah.
I bet you are.
Yeah.
I bet you were nice to her too,
we
right?
Still talk from time to time.
You've been cash out there trying to keep her quiet.
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's good content. That's good content.
Well, that is maybe like one of the most unexpected things he could have said right there, because I'm thinking about all these different fights that I had throughout high school and shit, and then he comes with this one time.
There it goes, people.
Colombian girl whooped my ass in art class.
Oh my God!
I know you were very interested. Do you remember? There was an incident where somebody stole some Jinko jeans from me, Jeremy.
They stole them, but out your locker.
No, he was a friend of mine. He slept over my house. He stole some Jinko jeans from me.
Jinko.
So I eventually figured it out, and we fought in the woods. And my mom drove by and saw us.
How'd you figure it out?
I think he was wearing the jeans. I think he was wearing them to school. Yeah.
And when you asked him about, did you even ask him? You just knew it.
I think I asked him and then told him I was going to fight him after school. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. But he was right. I would hope you would have applauded him for that. Win, lose, or draw. But did you get the jeans back? Did you lose cannon him?
I don't think I got the jeans back.
Oh, okay.
I just, as long as we're doing random memories, I have a memory. I'm playing baseball. He was big on baseball. Somebody hits the ball, goes flying. It speeds right towards me. I have glasses on. Boom! boom! It explodes the glasses on my face and gives me a huge black eye. I start saying every swear word that I know. I'm maybe in like 3rd or 4th grade, so I know all the swear words.
Yeah.
But he hasn't heard me say them. So as he's driving me to the hospital or just home, I don't know if I just iced it or whatever. I remember him telling me, like, I know you're upset, but it's still not okay to use those kind of words.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what Pops was up
I
to.
still think about that sometimes. It's like, if you're going to have a kid, you got to have rules that don't budge, even in a situation like where you get your glasses.
Did you guys
stuck in your face.
did you hunt, fish? You guys do these type of things?
See, that's what people think New Hampshire people do.
No, I'm just wondering. I mean,
Not these ones.
Listen.
Yeah, those are very popular activities, mostly in the woods, mostly in the northern part of the state, further away you get from Boston,
Gotcha.
we'll say. But neither of those were, for the most part, I follow a lot of basketball, a lot of college ball.
Huge basketball expert.
And I play a lot of golf.
Gotcha.
So I would say that those two activities have really kind of consumed.
Tiger Woods fan?
Well, I certainly have great admiration. I mean, he is, if he isn't the greatest, he's certainly very close to the greatest golfer ever. I'm convinced that, that if Earl Woods had wanted his son to be the greatest drummer or plumber or diplomat, we'll say, or talk show host, that Tiger would have become the greatest at whatever, because the folks were very, very tough, really tough.
Got you.
That's what I got from reading his biography as well.
So you can't. The other thing is that in his era, say going back 25, 30 years, as opposed to earlier, you have many, many more international players. Now you're beginning to see Asian and Indian professional golfers. They've kind of always been around from Europe.
Man, this is a very interesting.
Europe or Australia or South Africa.
I tried it at.
Have you ever played?
Yeah, I tried it at Top Golf. I sucked.
That's what I did too. I'm telling him I went golfing. I went to Top Golf.
I kept missing it. I'm grabbing it wrong. I don't know what iron. That we call it iron.
Yeah.
And I just kind of went as a pastime. I think I want to go back to try it again because I felt like it beat me. So I think I need to go back with somebody that understands golf, who can show me a technique.
Yeah.
It looks like when you get up there and you don't understand golf, you think it's about some brute strength. And it's not. It looks like it's about technique and that swing.
It doesn't have much to do with, we'll say, athletic ability, because you can be 50 pounds overweight, you could be 5 feet tall, you could be completely uncoordinated when attempting to play other sports. So it's they say that Asians excel at small, repetitive movements, and so that's why they are superior in, we'll say ping pong, table tennis, and others. They're not, as a rule, they're not runners and jumpers. They're, again, they're really, really, but they do excel at smaller, repetitious movement sports.
Well, the Rubik's Cube community will attest to that as well. The Rubik's Cube community of like solving a Rubik's Cube really quickly. Yeah. I mean, it's all like 10-year-old Asian kids.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be real. In the black community, when we couldn't solve it, we just took the stickers off and put them where we needed to put them, so it matched, and we were good.
See, that's a problem, right?
But
yeah,
I solved it.
Wait, okay.
I solved it a couple times.
I want to ask you this because this is a question that I get a lot.
Yes.
People assume that because I'm from New Hampshire, because I'm white, because I grew up in the 80s and 90s, that I must have grown up in a household that was in some way racist, homophobic, etc. And then they seem kind of shocked when I'm like, no, in fact, my parents for the time were very far left, serious Democrats, and actually taught me about how wrong racism and prejudice of all kinds were as a young man. So I would just like to throw that to you. What were the ideals that were important to impart to me as a kid in terms of social issues like that?
Good question. Well, just to address, New Hampshire is almost in the era.
Ain't no brothers up there.
Where I grew up. Anyway.
Ain't no brothers.
Minimal black people.
Yeah,
yes.
very, very small non-white population. Just happens to be a state which might be 98 at the time. 98, 90%, 99% white.
Whoa.
In my high school graduation class of 1968, Nashua High, about 450 kids. There were only 5 kids who were something other than white. Right.
Whoa.
A couple
Asian?
Cuban emigres who came to America.
Yeah.
Those families came in the 60s, early 60s. One Chinese kid and a couple of black kids whose families had been in Nashua for quite some time. But the city, the demographics of the city have changed a lot since then.
We're currently at 14% Hispanic, 3% black, 75% white, and then others.
The rest others.
7% Asian.
3% black.
Yeah,
What's the population over up there?
Nashua is 80,000 people or so.
Yeah.
3%.
But going back to Adam's question, I think that my wife and I grew up at a time, and we were affected by Martin Luther King and other black leaders who gave their lives in some instance for equal rights. And it was important to us that our kids would grow up with the same appreciating that not all Americans had equal opportunity, and that from a certain point on that you needed to recognize that, and you needed to kind of do your part. And I know that one of the things that I hear, Wack, from people I meet up, young people I meet up with, if I've got as Adam says, a no jumper T-shirt or hat on or something, is that they credit him with giving voice, for using his platform to give over the years.
Definitely.
Emerging rappers.
Definitely. I mean, more than that. We've had Hebrew Israelites here.
Crackheads.
A bunch of those. We got disabled, blind people. He definitely. It's crazy because in one voice they'll say, and with success come enemies. You understand that? Oh, he's a culture vulture. He's a white dude that's taking advantage of urban culture. But then on the flip side, if the white dude didn't acknowledge or give opportunity a chance, then they'll say, oh, he's a racist. He's this, he's that. So it's kind of like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But listening to you talk and his upbringing and the way you are is the reason why he's so comfortable. Now I understand why he's so comfortable, like doing what he does. Because he will open his door to some people to where most people be like, I don't know. He will give you the opportunity to show him who you really are, and not just go off the perception of what everybody else is saying. And he's gave a lot of people opportunity, trained them to where they went on to start their own thing. So I don't believe nobody in this game. I don't think you've thought about this. I had to tell you, like, you're really the only indie guy the way you are, but nobody's in this game. If you did a head count, has nobody for a fact. You damn near would have to compete with a radio station. And even they couldn't run with you because a lot of those DJs are long term, right? They'd be there 20, 30 years. Nobody's in this podcast game has given the amount of people the opportunity that you have.
There are times where I think maybe I should not have done so much of that. But for the most part, yes, I feel quite good about that.
See, when it comes to that, you can't concern yourself with what they chose to do. You have to acknowledge on what you did sincerely and genuinely. And however that turns out, because that allows you to be able to sleep at night, right? Because what if I believe you done saved some lives, right? When a person's here.
Some might say I saved yours.
Who? Mine?
Yeah.
Think so?
I feel like he might still be in prison if it wasn't for this podcast.
He's a damn lie. I'd already been home 24 years. I've been out of prison 26 years. I've already crossed the road, real estate, trucking. Matter of fact, I have to fly back this month. The gentleman that gave me the job that really transitioned me into become who I was and making some serious money, Mr. Wayne Wagner out of Billings, Montana. Wagner's Trucking. They started off hauling eggs. They went on later on to do auto transport. They were an independent company, but they were Fortune 500. They control all the BMWs, east to west, Porsches, Volkswagens. They built their own trailers, like literally modified them to just fit certain cars. I'm one of the ones that still have my truck and trailer, but Wayne just passed a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to head on up and pay him my respects. His son, David Wagner's still alive. And but Adam, I really don't think you really thought about it. You know how Vlad has that checklist of people he's interviewed that have maybe went to jail or been unalived.
Okay.
I think if you sat down and created a list of individuals that you gave an opportunity, like real employment, that you really paid and gave opportunity and watched them go from one extreme to the next, I don't believe there's anybody in this game right now. Could I get one of those books, my dear?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. We just wrote a book. She wrote a book, and where is both of us in the book? Can you bring us a couple of those books over here? Adam, for real though.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that?
Try not to. Try not to think about all the people I've impacted.
I'm gonna give this to.
Oh wow!
Is this my copy?
Oh my God!
I'm gonna have her sign it too before you go. There you go. That
Ego
just dropped.
Exposed.
Yeah,
a book by R&B right there and wack100. One of my great regrets in life is that I did not marry a black woman. So
what are you? Hey, listen.
I'm living vicariously through you.
What are you talking about, bro? You got to stop.
What?
You have a beautiful wife.
She's cool, yeah.
And she's like, what is she? What is she?
Armenian.
Yeah. You know, that's almost black.
It's not white.
Yo,
it's definitely not black either.
Do you get along with your daughter-in-law? She's cool. I love her to death.
Lena. With Lena?
Yeah.
We love Lena.
Yeah, Lena's great. She's cool. That's my partner. You know what I mean?
She's probably the best thing that ever happened to Adam.
I mean, the first one whooped his ass. I can't have
know when you're saying
the first one whooped his ass, right?
I never dated her. We were just friends.
I mean, well, you tried. You see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to take that a little further and say that we're really, I mean, she comes from a big Armenian family in the town where I grew up. There was a small Armenian community, but nothing like the...
in Nashua?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
10 or 15 families.
Okay. Where's Lena's? Where is she from?
Glendale.
Oh, she's from here.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah,
right.
that's all Persian Armenian.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's their stronghold.
Yeah. They're out there.
So they've been, she and her family, or her family, parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, been extremely welcoming to us, to my wife and me. We spend time with each other as a bigger family, couple, 3, 4, 5 times a year, and we've learned from them. We have learned. I mean, there's an Armenian experience that goes back to 100+ years, and at the hands of Turks, and the Armenian diaspora, the Armenian spread throughout the world. Armenian immigration after 1 million or 2 million Armenians were slaughtered by the Ottoman Empire in Turkey.
Nobody wants to talk about our genocide.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. I had this conversation. Actually, it was an Armenian lady yesterday in Clubhouse. And I had to kind of get on her case a little bit because we were having a discussion about what's the gentleman that just got on the line?
Charlie Kirk.
And I didn't follow him, but since his assassination, I've heard a lot of things he said. And some of the things he says, I think he pisses people off because some of them are facts, real facts, and he slaps you in the face with them. And then he was pretty good at sprinkling a little of the truth, some of the a little truth, and mixing it up, and you just didn't know the details. He had you right. But the lady comes in, and I'm going back and forth with the people because I'm a all lives matter type of guy. I consider myself a Black American. I'm of African descent, but I'm born in 1977 in California. I know the stories. I've read some things. I've seen some things. But in my mind, if there's a football field and every 10 yards it's a different ethnic group of child, I'm going to tippy-toe goal to goal the same way. I'm not going to get to any race and move any more less cautious than the previous. So I'm getting blowback because I'm telling them, listen, they're talking about slavery and this few of the comments. I said, listen, they're good Black people, they're good white people. They're bad on both sides. I said, back in those days, without the abolitionists, without the people helping, assisting the slaves on the way, they wouldn't have been able to get to freedom. It's a lot of these people that hung from trees, not as much as the slaves did, but when they got caught assisting, they hung these people, right? So in my world, right, I don't see that. I see the person, right? So she comes in and says, well, what about the Armenians? She started to talk about it. I said, well, we don't know about that. We're talking about America because they compare the Holocaust to slavery, right? And I told Captain Tazariot this morning, I said, look, bro, we cannot tell them what it felt like to be hunted down and taken to concentration camps and starved and then tossed in these mass graves, right? And they went through that in their country as we went through what we went through in our country. Both sides have felt the pain from it, right? But they like to try to compare it was more of, or it was this and this. Well, I just like to say it was horrible on both sides of it. But when it comes to the Armenian thing, we really don't know because it's never a conversation in the States, right? We know about the Holocaust because Hitler was so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Hitler thing came, you had the Aryan Nation, and we know about the swastika from the Aryan Nation. We know about that. We identified with Hitler. Then we had the Charlie Manson stuff. So certain things, we know about that. And then the Jewish community financially took a stance. And then it says, well, they got, they got paid or they got money, they got compensated for what they went through from America. So the whole thing is the black people have yet to get that, right? My whole thing is, okay, pursue it, but the doors are wide open for opportunity, right? A lot of my people feel like desegregation was a bad thing for us. I felt like, well, desegregation allowed everybody to do business and mingle with everybody. And coming from where I come from, I hate to say it, if they said, do you want to live in a all black community or do you want to live in a mixed race community, right? Coming from where I come from, where 9 out of 10 attempts on my life came from people that look like me, I think my odds are a little better with the all race community, right? But the ideology that there could be and will be, and if a black dominant world is still being pushed, but I can't see that happening because the powers that be that are in control of Congress and the government have always been in control. And I told them, if it would have been us in control, we would have fought tooth and nail to maintain control. Yes, we've had a black president. Yes, we have some black people as in the Supreme Court. And I mean, Congress as well. But in this thing we know as America, the structure of it is what it is. And I just believe life's too short to try to focus on dominating something that's already been dominated.
There you go. Do you feel like, as a lifelong Democrat, do you sometimes feel like the left is too consumed with identity politics and sort of obsessing over racial differences and things like that?
There are reasons why lots of, we'll say, working class white voters and Spanish and other groups, other races have defected from certain parts of the Democrats' agenda.
And he's an example. He voted for Trump.
Okay.
Well,
20 years ago, it wasn't easy to find a black guy who was voting for a Republican president.
But see, here's the thing. Follow me here. Trump has been part of black culture forever.
Well, he's a reality TV star.
No, kill that. Rap music.
They rapped
just
about
like
him.
Trump.
Sure.
Everything. I got to know who Donald Trump was through rap music. So by the time Trump is on reality TV, I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, this dude's hilarious. So when he went to run for president, right, only thing I knew is his business was right. He was a hard-nosed dude, right? And we already socially accepted him. So I didn't think about all the other things because I expect him, his age and where he comes from, I expect that his great-great-grandfather may have potentially had some damn slaves. He can't control his upbringing.
In Queens?
Wherever. I mean, I'm pretty sure his whole family wasn't from Queens.
I did.
But you got to remember, right? There was black people. Central Park was once a black community.
Well, I have memories of asking him and my mom about what life was like.
But he knows Trump differently.
But before the civil rights movement, and trying to ask them about were there really separate water fountains and stuff like that. And I always came back kind of let down.
Was that going on up north?
Not as much, right?
Because people went north for freedom, right?
Just to go back to your comment, he didn't get he didn't have a top-rated television series for quite a few years by being stupid, that he, for better or worse, that he's pretty adept at identifying what the people want, what lots of people want. So you can say anything you want, and you can't say anything bad enough about him to satisfy me. But again, I can understand. I understand your point about the black.
How I got to know him, yeah. I don't know him the way you know.
That he's been a figure for blacks, and I mean he's a celebrity, and has been for decades in a way that traditional politicians have not been.
There you have it.
And may now largely have to be. You know, like if you're going to be the Democrat who one day has the country captured in any way, like the way Trump has for all these years, you might need to have been in a few movies. You might need to be a beloved podcast.
I'm not going to lie. I would have loved to see Hillary in office, because I think Hillary helped run the country when Bill was in office. And I respected how she maintained her composure in doing Bill's little Oval Office scandal. Like, you never seen any rips. So when it came for her running, I wanted Hillary to win. Like, out of any female president, if it could be a female president, Hillary would be my pick. Like, it's just what it is. But, and I think with us, Adam, it's like, who gets the popularity vote? We really don't pay. You know, Trump's hard. No, I mean, I see a lot of things he's doing now. I think sometimes he's a little extreme. The ICE situation, Obama ran the same campaign. He was just a little more discreet and a little more quiet about it. So a lot of people got deported during the Obama administration. Trump, I think he's a beat your chest type of guy. He wants the people to know what he's doing. And I think from that, he gains popularity from the people that have his ideology, and then he loses it from the people that he wants to fear him anyway.
Well, let the record reflect that the Democrats tried to pass immigration reform before the election, and Trump actually shot it down because he wanted to be able to run on that issue.
I mean, is he right or is he wrong?
I'm just saying, like, both parties at that moment seemed to agree that immigration was becoming a big problem, and Trump wanted to utilize it for the presidential race, which clearly was advantageous to him, since that's like one of the biggest issues for the people out there.
The Hispanic vote out here, it went in his favor.
True.
Right? You know, I think he's a little extreme, you know, surrounding the schools, doing graduations and all that's kind of traumatizing to the children. But I think he's looking at the numbers and he feels we have a problem. And I guess he feels he's going to do something about it. I read something, it was like 500,000 Haitians who have been given some type of documentation to be over here. He wants to withdraw that, pull it back. So I don't know if our crime rate has went up. I don't know if it's due to population. I really don't know. What I do know is they voted on these things, and he's exercising his authority to push the button. It's a lot of things that have been voted on, as you know, that people they don't address. He just chooses to address it for whatever reason.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is an important one for people out there. I don't know if you know that there are conspiracy theories surrounding you. Have you ever been a Freemason? Have you ever been exposed to the Masons or anything along these lines?
Definitely been exposed to Masons.
Well, he's a Grand Mason.
No. He's in politics.
Oh, well, okay. I'll let him answer. I mean, people ask me this all the time, and I'm like, I don't even really know.
So you've never
what that's all about.
Being in politics. I mean, we know. Listen, you have when you hear Mason, if you do your research, a lot of our high judges and people in these positions, they're Masons. Now,
Has that been your experience?
Yes, I'm.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm minimally aware that in some circles, Freemasonry and the 32nd Order,
There you
things
go.
like that, are substantial positions
Yes.
for members to aspire to and achieve. That most certainly has never been anything that, the origins of our name in my family going back to the 1800s, on both sides, grandparents came from Canada, French-speaking Canada, which is to say Montreal, as opposed to, or Quebec, as opposed to Western Canada, such as Vancouver, which is entirely, there's virtually no French identification in the western part of the country of Canada. But in the Montreal and Quebec City and areas sort of immediately north of New England, Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and so on, French was traditionally spoken by new arrivals going back to at least the 1800s, if not further. And many of those immigrants, my grandparents, again born all in the 1800s, were people who grew up in Canada, learned to speak French, and for the most part came to the northeastern states in order to work in shoe factories and textile mills. And some French names, many French names, are translatable into English. And Grand Maison, however you pronounce it, of course means big house or great house. So that's I don't know.
I mean, honestly,
So what he's saying is, no, he is not a Mason. No, he hasn't been directly involved in Mason politics. Is he aware that it exists? Yes, he's aware. I know he definitely knows.
right.
But I think they say that because of your last name.
I know it's so
Sure.
badly
Yeah.
sourced. Like, I'm thinking right now, like, what is the evidence that I've seen people put forward to make this argument? And I'm like, oh, right, there is no argument or no evidence aside from our last name kind of sounding like Freemason,
Right.
Grand Mason.
Yeah, that's it. So I think that's all that is. I think your granddaughter brings you great joy.
She sure does.
She seems like a very, very
Sure
cool
does.
kid.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a great little kid. Our daughter has 2 boys.
Oh, so she's your first granddaughter?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right.
8 and 10.
Right. And it's really heartwarming to see her grow up and to see the 3 of them grow up in a world that's vastly different from the one even that Adam and his sister grew up in, 80s, 90s. That communicate. I mean, it used to be whack. It used to. You might have a hard time believing this, but when my wife and I were in college, 60s, 70s, something could happen. Something catastrophic could happen on the other side of the world,
And you guys would know.
and you wouldn't know about it until maybe Newsweek or Time magazine came out a week later. Maybe, a major newspaper, maybe the LA Times or New York Times, Washington Post might cover it. Maybe the evening news, CBS, NBC, ABC would report on it in time. But now, of course, anything of that scale happens, and almost instantly.
Sure.
Right.
It won't be a minute.
Yeah.
3 minutes tops, and it's there. It's gone.
I mean, think about yesterday. We saw arguably like the biggest right-wing commentator die on camera in front of a crowd. And by the end of the night, you almost shouldn't even bother to put out a YouTube video about this topic. Like it's already so inundated. There is no breaking news 8 hours later. It's
All the way
everyone
down.
knows instantly. And if it happened in Thailand, we would have known about it just as
everything, all the way down to the black dude still in the hats, to the security team carrying him to the car. Like you said, wait, the new one is a block or so over. It's a white dude walking down the street with a stiff leg limp. So they're insinuating that he had the rifle down his leg. So now they're picking up Zoom camera footage a block's away, and they're wondering, okay, why are you walking like this? Right? They allegedly found the rifle. It looks like a bolt action, 30
get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. Big Surf.
But
about to go live.
I really was looking at this
right now,
like,
y'all go tune in.
I'm listening to the guy.
Let's go.
And I don't know a lot about him, but what did he do to make somebody want to assassinate?
Make sure to check out the live right now.
He was pretty hyperbolic, pretty
my boy
divisive. I mean, for sure, I've seen a lot of people talking about him in extremely negative fashions throughout his career, and he did have a lot of opinions that were more or less just straight up normal Republican talking points. But I mean, if you want to go through,
what was he a threat to? What I'm saying. Usually when they assassinate people like this, right, in front of crowds of people, they're trying to send a message to those followers, those students. This is what happened to you, right? What did he do, or what?
Well, it hasn't been 100% confirmed yet, but there's suggestions that maybe the bullets had like pro-trans messages engraved in them.
See,
his anti-trans rhetoric really was pretty intense. So that if that ends up being the motive, I wouldn't be astonished.
Listen, I've been watching over the last couple months. I've been watching the president. This mass shooting was by a transgender. We want to stop transgender from having the right to bear arms. We want to eliminate them from the military. All these things. So maybe did he know something about something, and he's a sacrificial lamb to make it seem like it was a transgender who assassinated him, so they can use that to further push their narrative on what they're going to take away from.
I would say that level of planning is pretty unlikely.
Because if they didn't catch the guy, if they didn't catch him when they were supposed to catch him, whoever they put in front of him is another Lee Harvey Oswald.
I'll say this.
I don't believe it. I don't believe that person.
If you were to want to kill someone who was essentially like
a
proxy to Donald Trump, like if you wanted to kill a political commentator who was about as close to Trump as it gets,
with the
Charlie Kirk was there every step of the way when Trump decided to spread the lies about the election. Charlie Kirk was right there to help him when Trump was pushing, everything Trump has ever pushed. Charlie Kirk's been right there by his side. They've had like a fairly close relationship. Charlie Kirk is the leader of Turning Point USA, which is one of the biggest like conservative youth organizations that does a lot of college recruiting and everything. So
it's
for
all
sure,
good.
are there other right-wing commentators that
and if you don't know,
some crazy